Picture a hidden group working in the darkest places of secrecy with influence all around the world. A group, the KGB, was the Soviet Union's main security agency from 1954 until 1991. Tasked with state security, intelligence, and secret police functions, it permeated every layer of Soviet society. Operating globally, its foreign intelligence was legendary, with eyes and ears from Berlin to Beijing. Covert operations, surveillance, and disinformation campaigns were their trade tools in a world of secrets, lies, and betrayal. The KGB shaped Soviet policy, serving as the leadership's right hand. Even after the Soviet Union's end, its influence persists, morphing into Russia's Federal Security Service and intelligence agency. We'll show you the KGB's role in stopping protests, its information collection successes, and its recruitment of agents like John Anthony Walker. Keep watching to find out more. Before we delve into the transformation from Cheka to KGB, let's take a moment to understand the context in which these organizations thrived. The early 20th century was a time of immense upheaval, not just in Russia, but across the world. The First World War had left countries devastated and people disillusioned. It was an era of change, of revolution, and nowhere was this more evident than in Russia. The Bolsheviks had seized power and the Russian Empire was no more. The Soviet Union, a beacon for workers and peasants, but also a breeding ground for fear and suspicion. In the chaos of the post-war period, the Bolsheviks faced threats from all sides. Revolutionaries, foreign invaders, even their own citizens posed a potential danger. It was in this climate of fear the Cheka was born. And it was these conditions that would shape the course of Soviet security agencies for decades. The stage was set for a story of power, paranoia, and espionage. A story that would take us from the brutal beginnings of the Cheka, through the dark days of the NKVD and into the clandestine world of the KGB. Once upon a chilly stage of the Cold War, the KGB emerged as an imposing protagonist. In an era defined by soaring tensions and ideological conflicts between the globe's two powerhouses, the United States and the Soviet Union, the KGB stood as the Soviet Union's stalwart shield. They wrote an enigmatic symphony of whispers and secrets. The KGB's role during the Cold War was as complex as an intricately designed puzzle. It was far more than a mere intelligence agency. It was the reaching hand and the ever-watchful eye of the Soviet state, traversing every nook and cranny of the world. The KGB's clandestine activities cast a broad net, as diverse as they were extensive. They nurtured and schooled spies, both from the heart of the Soviet Union and from the nations they aimed to permeate. The spies were more than just combatants. They were the masters of the art of deception, the creators of illusionary images, and the authors of misleading tales. They were schooled to merge into the crowd, to become indistinguishable members of the infiltrated societies, serving as the KGB's unassuming eyes and ears. In the Cold War's uncertain times, filled with unperceived threats and unseen adversaries, the KGB flourished. They sailed through international politics and espionage with unparalleled expertise and precision that placed them among the most feared and esteemed intelligence agencies of their era. The Cold War, in many respects, was a shadowy war of secrets, and the KGB was the grand puppeteer of them all. Yuri Andropov, the longest-serving head of the KGB, from 1967 to 1982. Under his leadership, the KGB reached new heights of influence within the Soviet Union. His tenure was marked by a significant increase in the use of surveillance, disinformation, and political repression. A master strategist, Andropov played a key role in shaping the KGB into the formidable intelligence agency it became. Then, there's Oleg Gordievsky, a high-ranking KGB officer who served as a double agent for Britain's MI6. His intelligence was instrumental in diffusing several potential crises during the Cold War. Gordievsky's story is a testament to the intricate dance of deception that marked the world of espionage during this era. Let's not forget the audacious operations that made the KGB infamous. Operation Ryan, for instance, was an extensive surveillance program aimed at predicting a potential NATO nuclear strike. It was the largest peacetime intelligence gathering operation in history, a testament to the KGB's reach and capabilities. And then there was Operation Infection, a disinformation campaign designed to spread the false story that the United States had created the AIDS virus. This operation demonstrated the KGB's willingness to use deceit as a weapon in the global arena, sowing discord and mistrust among nations. From the shadows, the KGB also orchestrated the notorious Platinum Line operation, smuggling precious metals out of the Soviet Union to generate hard currency. This operation was a stark example of the agency's audacity, operating outside the law to serve its interests. These figures and operations offer a glimpse into the world of the KGB. They illustrate the agency's commitment to its mission, its willingness to push boundaries, and its ability to adapt to changing circumstances. These figures and operations have etched the KGB into the annals of history, painting a picture of audacity, ingenuity, and ruthlessness. The KGB's tendrils were not just in the Soviet Union, they were in our neighborhoods, our governments, even in our homes. Imagine a world where your neighbor, your co-worker, or even a member of your family could be a spy working for a foreign power. This was the reality of the Cold War, a time when the KGB's web of influence spread far beyond the borders of the Soviet Union. The KGB was not just a domestic security agency, it was also a foreign intelligence service, and it was incredibly effective in this role. Its agents infiltrated governments, organizations, and communities around the world, gathering information and influencing events to benefit the Soviet Union. Take, for example, John Anthony Walker. A U.S. Navy officer was recruited by the KGB and provided them with classified codes and other sensitive information for almost 2 decades. His treachery was so damaging that it's been said he handed the Soviet Union the keys to the kingdom. Then there were Robert Hansen and Aldrich Ames, both high-ranking officials in U.S. intelligence agencies. Incredibly, they were also KGB agents. Their actions led to the compromise of highly sensitive operations and the loss of numerous U.S. agents. These are just a few examples of the KGB's successful foreign intelligence operations. It's estimated that there were many others, their secrets still hidden in the shadows of history. But for all its successes, the KGB was not invincible. It was plagued by inefficiencies, corruption, and analytical shortcomings. Its vast network of agents and informants was often a blessing, leading to information overload and difficulty in separating the wheat from the chaff. Yet, despite its vast network and influence, the KGB was not invincible. The cracks in its armor would eventually become too large to ignore, leading to its downfall and the end of an era. But that's a story for another time. Even the mightiest can fall. And so, it was with the KGB. The year was 1991, and the once formidable Committee for State Security, better known as the KGB, was on the brink of dissolution. It was a time of sweeping change, a time when the Soviet Union was grappling with political instability and economic turmoil. The KGB, with its vast reach and influence, had been an integral part of the Soviet system. Yet it was not immune to the larger forces shaping the country. The organization was also unable to adapt to the changing political climate. Under Gorbachev's reforms, there was a shift towards greater openness and transparency, an approach that was fundamentally at odds with the KGB's secretive and repressive nature. And so, the mighty KGB fell. Its fall was not just the end of an era, but also the beginning of a new one. The KGB was replaced by the Federal Security Service, or FSB, and the Foreign Intelligence Service, or SVR. These agencies inherited the mantle of the KGB. Yet, the impact of the KGB extends beyond the borders of Russia. It shaped the course of Cold War politics and continues to influence international relations to this day. Its methods and tactics have been adopted, studied, and feared by intelligence agencies around the world. The KGB may be gone, but its legacy still lingers. Its shadow can still be felt in Russia and beyond, a testament to the power and reach of this once formidable organization. So what do you think? How did the KGB shape the world we live in today? As we close this chapter, remember that history is a labyrinth of stories, where every turn can reveal a new secret. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe for more fascinating insights into history's most intriguing topics. Until next time, keep exploring.